Hello once again, all you Gamepad fanatics, and welcome back to ElChizzoReviews. Today, we are looking at a Logitech WingMan Extreme. Now, I know some of you are going to be saying in the comments, wait a minute, the Logitech isn't a USB controller, and you promised us USB controllers. Yes, technically it does use the old 15-pin serial, but it came with this weird adapter. I can't stand up. I can't say for... You know what? We're just going to leave it there till I show you this. You cannot convince me that this was not... this did not come with it. It's the same color and everything. But it's an adapter. Switches the 15-pin output to a USB output. I don't really know if they're sold with this or whatever, but I have seen them on eBay and whatnot being sold with this. This particular controller I have on loan from a friend of mine, Trevor. I'll put a link down to any videos or any video channels or whatnot he would like me to in the description below. But before we actually get started on reviewing this thing, I'm gonna reiterate what I've said two videos now, because some of you are new, some of you are gonna have to hear this again. I grade these on a 5-point system in 3 different categories. You'll get 5 points for functionality, you'll get 5 points for comfort in the hand, and you'll get 5 points for aesthetic appeal, because you don't want to be playing with an ugly controller. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. The WingMan Extreme is a bit of an older controller, but once you have the adapter here, most PCs will actually recognize it right away. It'll actually draw old files and download them automatically. It's got what might be a home button if you were to use it as such. As far as I've tested it, like I said, it works great on like Broforce and other games that you can map your own controls when you use the D-pad here. It's got a 6-button put out here, kind of like the Sega Saturn. It's got a start button, and you can't read it, but that says sensor. We'll get into that in a minute. It has these it has 2 triggers in the back. As far as I've found, don't work so well. Oh, another game I've tested this on is the old TIE Fighter game that was on for sale on Steam a little while ago. It's still up, and if you have one of these old things and you can get a hold of this adapter, I would heartily recommend using it on there. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the sensor. When you turn it on, it automatically has sensor mode on. And what that means is, it has these pseudo motion controls. There's a little infrared light in here, I think, that can detect where a couple of weights are swinging on a certain axis. And that creates a substitute for D-pad output. That's kind of spotty. And really, really awkward. Basic mode, however, once you hit the sensor button and turn it off, works great on most games. The score for this one would be 4.5. As far as comfort in the hand goes, it fits nicely, but because of these blue bits here, they feel flimsy. Not bad, just flimsy. The D-pad is kind of at a weird angle, because up is kind of at it pointing diagonally, which kind of disorients me. But otherwise, the triggers are comfortable. Buttons feel nice. And there's really not much else. Your wrists are going to be kind of at a weird angle. So this is something you kind of want to hold up when you use. With your arms maybe on an armrest. I forgot to mention, this is made by Logitech. And it's a very... Maybe I mentioned that before, but it's a very nice company that makes a lot of good gaming equipment, as far as my experience has shown me. As far as comfort in the hand goes, it gets a 4.5. Aesthetics, it's got that same style that most controllers from the late 90s to the early 2000s had. It looks rather large for the mass of the controller, but I imagine that's just because at the time there were more adults playing on the PC than kids. It gets a score of 4. So altogether, it's got a score of 12.5 out of 15. I'd recommend it. If you have an old PC or a bunch of old games on that, and a bunch of old games on that old PC that use the 15-pin output, great. If you can find one that actually comes with the adapter, like I said, I'm not sure if this comes with. I just seen it online with this sold with it, because this is on loan to me. But yeah, if you can find one that comes with the adapter and you have the Steam version of the TIE Fighter game, it's even better. Before we sign off, I just want to say, old controllers like this, I grew up, I was born in 1996, so when it was around the age of 2000, I was around 5 years old. I did not have a concept of what a video game was until I was 6, because that's when I started seeing commercials for the PlayStation 2. I lived a very sheltered life, don't you judge me. But as I was growing up, you know, the Xbox was still kind of a new thing. I had my PlayStation 2, but a lot of my friends had the Xbox, and that was my concept of an advanced gaming system when compared to the PS2. I'd only ever seen my older sister play Doom on her computer, and that's what I thought games were. I thought they were computer games. But she always used the keyboard. So I didn't know that computers would take controllers with a output like this until way later in my life. But to find an old 15-pin controller like this, I may start collecting them, because they just have this feel of them, like, that reminds me of technology when I was really, really little. And I am a sucker for nostalgia. So, if you've got old controllers like this, or know where I can find old controllers like this on the cheap, let me know in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. That aside, thank you for watching. This has been. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. It lets me know that you want to see more. And leave a comment below, you know, berating me for all the ums in this video. Thank you ever so much. This is ElChizzoReviews signing off.